What's up, everybody? This is Chris with Good Time Hobby Adventures, coming at you today from the crawl spot with my VRD builder's kit with the Brazin Scale Hardline chassis. This is video number 3 of my build. So the last video I had the brass rings in the wheels, and that was it for weight. Today I'm going to be shooting some video, crawling some good lines here with the SSD VS410 knuckles, which you can probably kind of see in there. I don't know. They're right there. So I haven't put it on a scale yet, so I don't really know what the weight is, but it is substantially heavier in the front end. So without talking too dang much, I think I'm gonna get this thing moving, and we'll see how she does with a little more weight in the front. All right, this is a difficult little line right here. This portion of it right here. My red cat goes right up it. This truck being so low, that bumper catches a little bit, but it's pretty vertical. We'll see if I can slow crawl this without having to give it a punch. So before I would have to give it a punch to get up this line, and that little bit of added weight on the front seems to help. So this line here, I believe that being able to descend on some pretty steep stuff is equally as important as being able to climb it. But that's just my opinion. I think, you know, anytime you're out in the Red Cat, when it was stock, it was just notorious for endoing. And that spot right there, I wish I should have picked up the camera and got a better angle of that. It's just a straight down little drop, and I managed to save it. So it does very, very well for not having any brass in the rear, and it is my plan to add at least close to 100 grams of brass to the rear axle. Some weights, whether it be in the wheels. I believe Meus SSD also has some weights that actually bolt to the axle. This is a cool little line. There actually used to be a lot more to this, and it's just eroded away from climbing on it. This is one of 2 ways to go up it. I think it's the harder way, and that added weight up front just made it look so easy. But if you watched any of the other videos, these gates, again, were already here. I don't know who put them in, but it's a cool little course for anyone, you know, to do. I haven't even counted exactly how many gates, but there's probably close to, I've got to believe there's like 10 gates. But it's definitely fun. It is a great tool for me and for anybody else that's getting into the rock crawling scene, to tune your truck and learn how to do this thing. And it's been an adventure. I've only been doing it since September of 24, and my first crawler was my Red Cat Fusion, which I absolutely love. And I've got a couple videos of it out there. It's now on Capra axles, but I think it's time to add a little bit of brass or maybe some softer inserts, because I'm running Proline dual stage foams in the front of that with the J Concepts ruptures. I'm not quite getting that squish, but it'll do 65 degrees, close to 70 degrees on the climb, no problem. But going back to my VRD Straight Axle here, I mean, this is a pretty tough little line. But once you get the truck dialed in, and get it figured out, it's not that difficult, so to speak. But I struggled with this line quite a bit, and adding that little bit of weight to the front really helped. The SSD knuckles are just, they're a work of art. They really are. They're really nice pieces. But as you can see, she just walks right on up. Well, almost walks right up, but that was me one-handed driving again, so. I also want to shout out to Brazin Scale for this hardline chassis. You know, it was either the Rock Pirates Kraken or this. I went with this, and I absolutely love it. And yeah, it changed the dynamics of the truck and the way it handled. But I think I've got it pretty much figured out. And it's an awesome chassis. I recommend it. This is a pretty cool little line that I found. As soon as I turn the camera here, there's a drop down with a hole. There's a cave kind of right underneath here. I should have brought the camera around and then reset instead of just turning it. But it drops down into a gap. You can see the hole off to the left side there. And I put it in quite the bind right here. It was pretty tight, but a little body drag here. Once I get past the body and those back tires hook, it just climbs right up and out, and that's pretty much a straight up climb. The Dlux iron rocks, I can't say enough good stuff about them. They really work well in this rig, and I just have a whole new love for straight axles. It's a beast. This obstacle is just a long vertical climb. I mean, to roll down, I'm actually standing almost neck height in kind of a hole looking up at the truck here. If I would have lost it on either side, it probably would have ended pretty badly. But it made it, no problems. And I reset the camera here, and kind of a cool little shot. This line here is not too difficult. There's a little bit of side hilling, and you'll see it slides a little bit. And I really cranked to get over the top and hope I don't lose it. That's a good 3-4 foot drop right there, but it's stuck. It sticks very well. I've had to do some rear adjustments to my springs. Turn the collars down a little bit, try to get a little more preload. I'm thinking I might order the spring kit from Vanquish. Try maybe a little stiffer spring in the back, because it really looks like when the truck's on a flat surface, it's really riding downhill. And I've got the front end pulled pretty much all the way down, and I use hair bands to keep the front end from unloading. And it works. Without them, I mean, maybe if I switch over to an 80 mil shock in the front, that'll work better. But yeah, it works for me. Hair bands work. Love them or hate them, I love them. This is a cool little line here. The next few clips are shot a couple weeks later. So what I did was, I noticed I wasn't getting a lot of really good, how do you say it? Maybe tire conforming on the rocks. It just kind of seemed, with the Proline dual stage foams, it just seemed a little bit stiff. And this one took me a couple stabs, and you can see the rocks just break away. It's crazy how some spots are just super tight, and then others are so loose. But I saw this and had to try it. And I'm telling you, that extra weight up front. So anyways, I was saying, I took the Proline dual stage foams out, and I had a set of the Injora XHX pins with the green silicone inserts. So I decided to give them a try. They're a little bit small for the tires, but I wanted to just give them a try and see what they did, and they definitely added a lot of weight to the front end. And there's Mike. He loves to try the impossible stuff, but that truck of his, that's 100% Amazon built truck, and it is an absolute amazing rig. It loves the comp pins. He's running the Hyraxes on it right now. It doesn't do as well with the Hyraxes. That truck just is a beast with the comp pins. And that is a 100% Injora built truck. Or not Injora, Amazon and Injora. And it hangs with the best of them out here. So as you can see, this is, at the beginning of this clip is a pretty gnarly line. I did cut a lot of it out because, I mean, I sat there, I slow crawled this whole thing and sat there, and the tires are just digging. You can hear them trying to bite. A lot of the rock underneath gives way, and it kind of slid me over a little bit. I thought I was going to lose it again, but it stuck this time, and right there it just fell a little bit. So this is pretty difficult. It was hard enough for the truck to climb. It was even harder for me to keep following the vehicle all the way up the hill. But the additional weight of the inserts and definitely more tire squish, I guess, to put it in simpler terms. It made a difference. I absolutely love this truck. I want to build something else straight axle. I'm not quite sure yet. I was looking at the VRD or the Phoenix. Maybe the Portal kit, but I don't know. I find myself really digging on straight axles. And you can see how much of a side hill this is, and I'm not cheating the camera, the angles, nothing. This was pretty tough, and it does it. It was tough, but you can see here, it's everything that this truck has got right now to make it up here. I think maybe just a little more added weight. I wish I could keep it right in under 6 pounds. I'm sure it's probably just over that now. Without any brass, it was right at 5. But it pulls it. And every time I get to go out, I definitely get better at driving. That always helps. Holy Moses. Oh, hung up on the diff. There we go.
smokes. Woo.
And here's Mike's rig. This is also a straight axle rig. I believe he's running the AMK version rock jocks on it. And he's got some brass discs up front, the Injora wheels. But it's an amazing rig. It really is. He's made some climbs that just vertical, unbelievable stuff. And this is about midway up, and it gets if it goes there next to that bush on the left side, I would hope that it would catch and fall into that pocket. But you'll see here in a little bit, this is probably one of the higher peaks before you start really climbing into the mountain, and it's quite a hike back in here. But yeah, this is a pretty tough line, and I'd never been up here before. We came upon, we've seen it from a distance and never actually got over to it till this day. And I saw it and I said, you know what, I got to give it a try. I had to be really careful about walking around. I'm literally standing and leaning up against the rock right here with my GoPro in one hand and my controller in the other. If you go back to the first video I shot of this, I've definitely gotten better driving it one-handed. So, yeah, you hear me saying we're almost to the top. So this is the final leg of it. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's been a really good time with this truck. There's, like I said, there's a couple more things that I'm gonna do, but mostly you'll see this rig in videos, crawling with the guys. You know, I made, I don't know, to do a head-to-head against my Red Cat. My Red Cat's on Capra style portals, aluminum portals, where this is a straight axle rig. So maybe I'll do kind of a head-to-head, or just something fun to see what obstacles each truck does a little, does better or worse on. I think it'd be, I don't know, let me know in the comments if you guys like to see something like that. But the only other thing I did was moved my shocks to a different position. I stood them straighter, or I stood them up straighter in the rear, and that seemed to also help. I think I definitely would like to try different inserts, maybe take the stock foams out of the rear and try something else, because there's some points where it really where I put it in a bind and the tires really squish or roll on the rear. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and here it is at the top. So this is the end of it. Remember, guys, this is Chris, Good Time Hobby Adventures. Take it easy.